Well, mighty companions, are you glad to be here?
Yes.
I'm quite happy that you are here. Those of you online on Facebook Live, I'm Earl Purdy, and I want to tell you how happy I am to have you joining me today with the course in miracles. If you're here for the first time, anybody here for the first time? Well, let me tell you, I'm glad to see you. Want you to know that you don't have to believe it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to welcome it. Some of the stuff I say may be hard to believe. You might go, that's hard to believe. Some of the stuff I say might be startling, but what you'll find out if you use the ideas, you'll see that the ideas are true. If you use the ideas. So it's called A Course in Miracles. While I'm sharing the Course in Miracles, I'm going to take 39 years of studying it and teaching it to sometimes substitute some of the meanings that the Course in Miracles gives for these words to make it easier to understand. Like atonement is the release from guilt, the correction of error, the letting go of mistakes. So when it says atonement, it's talking about letting go of my mistakes. See, that's different from what we might have traditionally thought of that term to mean. So as I go through this, we want to see what is the message that the Course in Miracles is trying to give us. It's not so much about, do I agree with it right now, or do I understand it, or even if I want to practice it right now. My purpose as a teacher of the Course is to be a messenger. And the purpose of a messenger is to do what? Deliver a message. The postman that comes, or woman that comes and delivers your mail, does not have a sense of personal responsibility about your overdue bill. Right? They just deliver the message. So I'm a messenger. I don't feel the need to defend the Course or try to prove to anybody that is what I'm saying is true. I'm just here to deliver a message. And the Course itself says you don't have to believe it, you don't have to accept it, you don't have to welcome it. Some of it's going to be startling. Aren't you ready to hear something different even if it startles you? Yeah, aren't you ready to hear something different even if you don't believe in it? Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's what people always say, I want something new, but the minute you give them something different, then they go, wait a minute. But you said you wanted to hear something different, right? Okay. Also, it says that it's not about analyzing the ideas, it's about using the ideas. And if we use the ideas, we'll see that the ideas are true. So I'm going to start out with the section is on page 282 in the text. If you have your book and you have your Foundation for Inner Peace book, those of you mighty companions that's online on Facebook Live, would you just take a minute right next to the place where you make comments? It's got an icon that says share. And I want to ask you to share this live video on your feed right now. Let's get as many people watching as we possibly can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the paragraph, then I'm going to go through the paragraph, and then I'm going to go through the paragraph. And so that we will hear what it's saying, even if we don't necessarily believe it. So please understand that I'm not trying to convert anybody. Because, you know, whatever the truth is, it's going to be true whether you believe it or not. And whatever the truth is, it's going to be true whether I believe it or not. So it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. You know, I'm sorry. If something's the truth, it's going to be the truth if you believe it or not. You know. So here we go. The circle of atonement. The circle of atonement. The Course in Miracles is only talking about love or fear, right? So even though it's using Christian terminology to describe universal spiritual themes, it's only talking about love or it's only talking about fear. Let me find the volume control.
Give me that page number again, please.
It's on page 282.
Thank you.
Chapter 14.
So Okay, the Course in Miracles starts out by saying a really interesting sentence, and I'm going to go slow. It says, the only part of your mind that has reality is the part of your mind that links you still with God. So is that saying that the only part of a person's mind that's real is the part of their mind that still links them to love? Okay, so does that mean that the only part of your mind is the part of your mind that links you to love? So the only part of your mind that's really real, according to the Course, is the part of your mind that is aware of love. The only part of your mind that is real is the part of your mind that links you with love. And it says, wouldn't you have all of it transformed into a radiant message of God's love? Okay, so if there is a part of your mind that links you to love, do you want all of your mind to link you with love?
Yes.
And would you have it transformed into a radiant message? So your mind is supposed to be a message. So another term for your mind is my message. So all day long, you're using your mind, which would be the same as saying all day long, you're using your message. Right? So that means that all day long, you are giving yourself a message. You're using your message. You're using your messenger. That's your mind. So all day long, you are using your mind, which means all day long, you are acting from your message. You're acting from what you're telling yourself. All day long, you're acting from what you're telling yourself. What are you doing all day long? Okay, those of you all who don't mind responding, please respond. And those who would rather, puke than respond, be quiet. Is that fair enough? All right, so I want everybody to do what they want to do. All right. Okay, so it says, would you have all of your mind transformed into a radiant message of your Creator's love? Now, I want my mind to be transformed into a radiant message of God's love. Why? So that I can share that message of love to all the lonely ones. See, everybody, are there some lonely people in the world? Okay, are you one? Depending on what area of your life I'm talking about. You might have a lonely bank account. $2 been by themselves for a long time. Yeah, I'll say that one more time. Your mind, the only part of your mind that's real is the part of your mind that links you with love. Do you want all of your mind transformed to love? Yes. Why? So that I can be a radiant messenger of love. To who? All the lonely ones. Is there people say they can't understand what the Course is saying?
To everybody, not only the lonely, but everybody.
Well, I'm just saying what the book is saying.
Oh,
Okay, the book said lonely ones, so I'm just going to go with that, all right? I love sunshine. When I first moved to Denver almost 20 years ago, 19 years ago this year, I lived in her basement. In her basement apartment.
That's a magical basement.
That was I can't even begin to tell you the things happen magical in that basement. I still think of it fondly. Yeah. It was the basement. Why you think I'm teaching the course? I need a teacher to teach you innocent, you innocent, you innocent. Okay. All right. So, if your mind is going to be transformed into a radiant message that you give to those that are lonely, the Course in Miracles says one beautiful statement right after that. God makes this possible. Who? God. And God is love. God is the Creator, right?
Yes.
So it's the Creator that's going to make it possible for me to deliver the message of love after my mind has been transformed into the rest of my mind, the part of my mind that is loving. There's a part of my mind that's loving. There's a part of my mind that's fearful. I want all of my mind turned into love so that I can give you the message of love, and God makes it possible. Didn't say you made it possible. Said the Creator makes it possible. Those of you who really don't want to do much, that should be good news. I should be getting a standing ovation right about now. Well, I can do nothing. This sounds like my path. I I want to be on the path of truth where you don't do nothing. So,
That's okay.
okay. Then it says, would you deny God's yearning to be known? Which is, let's translate it. Would you deny real love's yearning to be known? So love, I am willing for the love in me to be known, and I'm willing to know the love in me. All right. See, when I go through the course, I just go ahead and do it while I'm doing it, because I know when I close the book, I'm gonna forget it. All right. Like we used to say when I was growing up. All right. All right. So, and now what I love about that sentence was it says, then the next sentence says, you yearn for God as God yearns for you, which is the same as saying what? You yearn for love as love yearns for you. So love is yearning for you. Love wants you. Love is stalking you. I saw love behind the bushes when I left out my apartment. I've been behind the bushes a few times when I didn't handle breakups well. No, I'm just chopping your bushes. Have you ever broke up with somebody and then drove past their house later on? Yeah, we've all done that kind of stuff. Yeah. That was love yearning to be known, wasn't it? See, the Course in Miracles is a joke book from God. All right? It's not meant to, we're supposed to be sincere, but not serious. People get too serious about this, about God, about spirits. It's supposed to be a joyful experience. So this is the happiest time of the week for me. It's the one time I feel like I'm really doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Right? And so that's why it says take it slowly. So it says you're yearning for love. Love is yearning for you. Love is yearning for you. God is yearning for you. So there is love yearning for you. Love wants to get to you. Real love wants to get to you. Anybody that's really loving you wants to get to you. You don't have to chase them. If you're going this way and they're going that way, it's not love. That used to be the prerequisite for me to be interested in somebody when I didn't love myself, was that I needed to chase them, I needed to get them, and they didn't really want to be with me, so I'm chasing them. That's how you know they don't love you. They're running. There's a line in the Course in Miracles that goes, recognize misery and go the other way. If you're hiking and the mountain lion comes on the path, you don't say, let's process. I got issues around my mama. Let's talk about this. Your butt goes what? The other way. So don't believe that it's not okay for you to recognize misery and go the other way. Right? Right? If you're in a burning building, you want the firemen to get you out. And once they get you out and you're sitting under the tree across the street, you might want to ask, how did the fire start? But you don't want to have to know that while they're getting you out of the burning life. So Spirit is trying to move us out of our misery. We're like people who are in the apartment that's on fire, that the firemen come to rescue, and you go, I'm not leaving till you tell me how the fire got started. And that's when people approach the truth. It's like, I'm miserable as hell, but I got to understand exactly how all of this, where did this come from? No, let me get you out first, then we'll talk about it. And that's what it's saying right here. It's saying, it says, this is forever changeless. What is it that never changes? Love yearning for you, and you yearning for love. That never changes. Love always wants you. Something that loves you wants you all the time. See what I'm saying? Now don't get depressed as you think about your relationship. Stay positive. Stay positive. Stay positive. All right? All right? Then the next sentence says, except then the immutable. So what is the immutable? That which does not change. So what doesn't change? Love is going to yearn for me, and I'm yearning for it, and that will never change. And that's why we're not satisfied most of the time, is because we were built, according to the Course, we were built so that we would never be satisfied with less than love. So every time you give yourself less than what you deserve in any area, you will know it because you'll say, I'm not satisfied with this job. I'm not satisfied with this relationship. I'm not satisfied with it. That means you know you're not giving yourself what you deserve. So you may be in a relationship you're not satisfied in. That's a good thing. It stops you from stopping at something that's not worthy of you. Because you're just not satisfied. And if you're not satisfied with anything in your experience right now, don't beat yourself up. You just know you're in a situation that in your perception is less than what you deserve. So I'm telling you, you deserve more than you're giving yourself. Yes. And that's why you're not satisfied. See, I'm going sentence by sentence. You with me out there? Anybody following along? Yes. Okay, and the reason why I advise you to do that is the biggest complaint I hear from people who study the Course in Miracles is that the book is hard to read. Now, the first step to getting past the book being hard to read is reading it. You need to open it up. Just a little hint I want to give you. If you don't ever open the friggin' book up, it's going to be hard to read. I know people have been studying the Course for years and still don't have the book. There's no excuse for that now. You got Audible. You can listen if you can't read. There's no excuse, y'all. It's no way you can say you want the peace the Course in Miracles offers and you're a Course in Miracles student by your own admission and you never listen to it and you never read it. You know, it's good. I'm not discouraging you from coming if you're not doing it, but just please be honest with yourself. Okay? It says, except then what? The immutable, leave the world of death behind. What a statement. Most people don't even think they got an option. But every time you leave here, my best friends, they had his funeral yesterday. And we've been friends since we were 16. And in over 50-something years of friendship, we never had one cross word between us. It was an extraordinary bromance. It really was. His name was Kenny Littlejohn. And I love Kenny Littlejohn. He was the reason why I got in music in the first place. He was a couple of years older than me in high school, and when I went to school, you didn't hang out with the upperclassmen, and hang out with the folks too. He just took me under his wing, and he gave me my nickname that my other three buddies, it was four of us, they called me. You know what my nickname was? You want to know? Don't y'all call me this? This is just between us and the internet. All right, you ready? Yeah. Walleye. W-A-L-L-E-Y-E. Wall-eye. That was because my eyes were even bigger when I was younger. They're big now, but when I was 16, I was skinny, so I looked like I had walleye. So my friend called me Walleye. And I remember I stayed in an apartment building, just moved into a pretty tough neighborhood. My mother and father had split, and I was kind of new to the neighborhood, and I had 4 sisters and my mother. And my 2 brothers were so much older than me, they were already gone. So I grew up with a lot of estrogen. I heard a lot about the female point of view, right? And so he kind of took me on his wings, and my mother didn't trust many people, but it was something about Kenny Ray. She just immediately trusted him because he's what you call a good person. You know what I'm saying? His mother felt the same way about me. So I was Walleye. Then my friend Kenny, he was extremely dark. His skin was darker than the molars. How dark is that?
That's a good question.
Well, his nickname was Skillet. I don't know if you've seen one of the big black cast iron skillets. So we call him Skillet. Kenny Ray's nickname was Skillet. No, we just Skillet. And then I had then my other buddy, he was so skinny that he almost looked anorexic before that was even known. And his nickname was Fat. So me and cute. And all those brothers are gone now. All of them are out their body except me. And so it's really interesting. When I asked the universe, are you trying to tell me something? Now I'm talking about leave the world of death behind. And that's exactly what he did. He just left the world of death behind. And the Course in Miracles teaches us we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And that we're not our physical bodies, but we have physical bodies to communicate the message of love to each other. But that's not what we communicate in traffic. I had a road rage incident one time. The guy, he got out of his car and he was going to come up and he was going to attack me. He was just so mad. And I actually cut him off. I admit. It was my error. And so he came up to the car, and you could tell he was ready to fight. And I was in the course. And then I looked around. I looked at him when he came up to the car and I said, "Bless you." He stopped. And then he went, "Okay." And he walked back to his car and drove. See, peace is stronger than war.
Absolutely.
See, we don't realize peace isn't weak. Peace is strong. We just don't use it. And sometimes people piece me off. You know what I'm saying? You ever been pieced off? Yeah. So the Course said, so Kenny, you left the world of death behind. I will see you at another time and place. And we shall continue, and I can get that $5 you owe me. So I could talk to my daughter when she first told me about it, say, "Hey, okay, I'm gonna be okay. So let me hang up and cry, and then I'll call you back later." Yeah, let me hang up and cry. I'll call you back later. So leave the world of death behind, and then he says, quietly return to heaven. And the Course calls, now this is great, the word heaven. He says, heaven is love, right? But it's also telling us, he says, heaven is your reality. So our reality that we were created from, our true reality is so cool, it's like heaven. If you say that dinner was like heaven, a person doesn't usually feel like, why are you using religious terminology over my pot roast? It's like they usually feel like that's a compliment. We associate heaven with being something extremely pleasant, right? So the Course says, I want y'all to leave the world that it looks like you can die in behind and return quietly to love, because there's nothing of value in the place that you could be hurt or a place that you could die, really, and everything of value in reality, which is love, which is heaven. So you can say there's nothing of value in being afraid of each other. There's everything of value in loving each other. I would like to attract some people to me who want to join with me on the purpose of learning how to remove the blocks to the love we have for each other and ourselves. Those are the kind, and party like a big dog. I don't want no dull spiritual partners.
No dog.
P-Funk coming to town later on this year, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Then it says, there is nothing of value here in fear, everything of value in love. Listen to the Holy Spirit. Listen to the loving Spirit. Listen to the love in you. Listen to God's voice. I'm giving you all these definitions from the Course. Listen to the right mind in you and to God through the right mind in you. So I listen to my higher self through the higher self in me. I listen to love through love in me. I listen to the truth through the truth in me. And the Course says, the voice of God, love, speaks to you. I love this. Speaks of you to you. So love is going to speak of you to you. So if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm going to speak of the love that you are to you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let Shannon forget how innocent and how loved she is as long as she's my friend.
That's right.
Haven't I been consistent, Shannon?
Yes, you have.
You've been consistent with me except one time. No, we've been consistent the whole time. You forgot who I was for a minute. I personally have never done that. I've never forgot anybody. Everybody's Christ to me. Okay. So now I know what I'm supposed to be saying to my friends. Now I know what I'm supposed to be saying to my children, my grandchildren. I know what I'm supposed to be saying to my lover, to my lover and my lover and my lover. I know what I'm supposed to be saying to you. I'm supposed to be giving you a radiant message of love. Because my mind is being transformed. God's going to source the love, but I'm the messenger of the love. There's nothing of value keeping you afraid of me and me afraid of you. There's everything of value if we're going to love each other. And I want you to listen to the love in me, through the love in me. And it says the love in you is going to speak to you of you there. And this is what I'm going to say. The chorus is so cool. Then it goes, okay, well, what am I going to say to you? He says, I'm going to say to you, there is no guilt in you. I'm not going to be trying to make you feel guilty. If I'm going to give you a message of love, it is not a message of guilt. A message of love is not a message of guilt. Me trying to make you feel guilty is not me giving you a message of love. Now, can we make mistakes?
Yes.
Okay, so we can make mistakes. Mistakes are for correction, but the course says you're never guilty in the sense that you can do anything that God or love cannot correct and forgive. That's our love is unforgiving. God's love, Creator's love, real love is never unforgiving. If I love you, I can forgive you. I can see you correctly. I can see you past the limited thoughts I might have about you. Now remember, this is telling us how a loving mind works. It's not talking about us. So don't beat yourself up, right? Okay? All right. We're the learners. We're here to learn how to do this. We can't do it yet, so don't beat yourself up because the first day of flight school, you can't fly solo. Okay? So this is just telling us it's telling us where we're headed. See, I'm going to get to the point that I'm going to be unable to not forgive anyone I love. And I'm going to attract people to me that feel the same way about me. I already have relationships where people tell me they're going to love me no matter what. They're going to love me no matter what my body does. What I do with my body or don't do with my body. You know, and I remember a time I would have thought that was impossible for someone to love me regardless of what I did with my body or who I did with my body. Real love will. Real love will. Real love is going to love you no matter what. That's how I know I'm a work in progress, because I'm not to that level yet.
Me neither.
But everybody else is sunshine. Nobody else in the room. No matter of fact, a couple people went, really? I don't understand why you can't do that. So keep whatever boundaries you need while you need them. Renegotiate them when you become more open and less fearful. So you may need a lot of boundaries and limits in your relationship in order for you to feel safe. Okay? So did you just hear what I said? What's important is the content. And the content you want is love. And so whatever form you need to structure your relationship that allows you to feel safe in it, you owe it to yourself to do it that way. For some people, that's being monogamous. For some people, that's being polyamorous. For some, that's being open. For some, that's being whatever, free. Everybody doesn't need to have the same need or form. I don't need the limitations and restrictions that most people need in a relationship. People get in a relationship with me is, well, what's your rules? What's your request? I said, you're free. And then they leave me. You know why? Because they can't give it. They can't give it. They can't say that to me. So they have to go, right? You know. See, I've even been called high maintenance in a relationship. I was telling a friend about that yesterday. I've been called, I've had people in relationships. Do you believe that? Call me high maintenance. And then in my mind, I said, okay, what's high maintenance about being told you're innocent, you're free, I'm going to support you in whatever you want to do. Just do or not do what you don't want to do when you're with me. I just want you to be happy. You do it with somebody else. I don't have maintenance. I'm totally responsible. I take responsibility for myself. I'm not borrowing nothing from you. And I realized why I was high maintenance. Because if a person is trying to do something with you that they really don't want to do or can't do, then you're going to seem like high maintenance because they're constantly having to do something that they don't want to do. So they'll call you high maintenance because they're not being authentic. If you're putting on an act for me because you want to be, I love the Course in Miracles. No, you just really want to be with me. But I'm into the Course in Miracles. So you hate the Course in Miracles. But you're going to come to every class. You're going to, like you reading it. And for you, that makes me high maintenance because you're doing something you don't really want to do. If you really want to know what a person really wants to do and what they naturally do, look at what they're doing after you break up. Now you're seeing who the person was. The rest of it was what they were doing for you. Think about it. Or it wouldn't be that big of a shift. But if you know it's a radical change in interest, a radical change in personality, a radical change in dress, then you're seeing what they would just naturally like to be like. But maybe they were doing what they thought was necessary to what? Get the specialness that they wanted from you. Yeah, the Course in Miracles calls the body our bait to catch a better fish. And when I go out, I'm trying to catch a whale.
And then you end up with a shark.
Then I end up with a shark. I'm glad I know about your relationships now, Demola. Projection makes perception. I've had a sharkina. Yes, I know. I've had it. Any of y'all ever had a shark of some type? Anybody you've ever hurt yourself through in a relationship? Right. So the Course in Miracles says, there is no guilt in you, for your Creator is blessed in you. When it says son, it's not talking about a man. When the Course says son, it's talking about a mind that's joined with yours, the one creation of love. It's not even talking about people. So it's saying to us that your Creator is blessed in you, and you are blessed in your Creator. Love is blessed in you, and you are blessed in love. So what did the first paragraph say to us? The only part of your mind that's real is the part of your mind that still links you to love. Then it asks you a question. Do you want all your mind transformed into a message of love?
Yes.
To share with the lonely ones? Yes. God, love makes this possible. Would you deny love's yearning to be known? No. Love is yearning for you. Love is trying to get to you, and it's going to come to you in the body that's best for you. The love will come to you in the form that's best for you. The form that you feel loved in is the best form. Right? So now I know. First of all, I don't have to seek love. I don't have to try to get love. And you can't make love. Your partner told you that just the other night. You can't make love. You can extend love. You can get out of the way and let love come through you. That's right. So then it says, love never changes. The yearning that love has for you never changes. Why don't you just accept that? That's never going to change. Then it says, why don't you leave this world of death behind? Why don't you leave the fear behind? Then it says, and return quietly to love. And it says, there's nothing of value here in fear, everything of value in love. Listen to your loving spirit and listen to your Creator through your loving spirit, because your loving spirit is going to speak of you to you. You are awesome. You are sensational. And that's what I'm telling you. Now, you're going to be suspicious of me if you don't believe it about yourself. You're going to say I'm a con artist. I'm trying to get your dollar. Okay. See, if someone tells you something you don't believe about yourself, the temptation is for you to think that person is a con artist You can't believe them. It's just a line they're giving you, and you're just trying to get something from me. If you don't believe it, it sounds far-fetched when you hear it. I'm loving myself more. So if someone says, man, I really think you're lovable, I don't go into suspicion. I go into, I'm glad you recognize that.
Yes.
Because I am lovable.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if somebody's suspicious when you're being kind to them, that's your red flag that you got a high maintenance person on your hand. Because you'll never convince them. You'll never do enough for them to really feel like you love them, because it's an inside job, not an outside job. I can support you in helping you feel loved, but I cannot make you feel loved. Right? So the Course says there's no guilt in you. That's the radiant message of love. You may make mistakes. Mistakes are for correction, loving correction, but who you really are, how you were created by God, how you were created by love, how you were created by life, you are not guilty. You are not sinful. You are not bad. If you come from the South like I did and you grew up in traditional fundamentalist Christianity, the most sacrilegious thing you could ever utter out of your mouth that all those loving people may crucify you right there in church for is to say there is no sin.
Yeah.
Is to say you are not sinful. Right? So the Course is saying, that's what I'm telling you. There's no guilt in you. You make errors. We make errors. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. But you were not born inherently flawed unless your creator is a really bum creator.
Yeah.
Think about that. How can an infinitely perfect creator create a flawed creature?
Right? It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It can't make any sense. Unless you're totally separate from that which created you, which is the definition of creation, is you can't be separated. Okay, so that's paragraph 1. Are you with me? All right. Are there any questions or clarifications about that paragraph that I just covered? Chris.
So I had a two-part question, actually.
Okay.
So the first part is, when the Course talks about mind, I'm still like confused about that, because I always think it's here, but I know it's not what it's talking about when it says mind.
It's
something
right.
outside of time, right?
It's what it just said on the page when it said when it said your mind is a radiant message of God's love. It just told you what the mind is. The mind is the messenger of love. In other words, I give you another tip, Chris. Understanding what the mind is isn't what's important. What's important is saying, I want all of my mind transformed to love, and I want to be able to give a radiant message of love to all my brothers and sisters, that they're not guilty. That's all you need to remember. The rest of it is a distraction. It's not important whether or not I really know what my heart is, as long as it keeps pumping that blood through my body. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our understanding does not really give any big contribution to the truth of something. So it's not important that you understand what the mind is. It's important that you understand what your purpose is.
Okay.
Right? So take the energy that you would be using to try to figure out the abstract quality of the mind and go, I'm here to be a radiant message of God's love, and how can I get rid of the blocks inside of myself that keeps me from being that? Are you with me?
Yes.
All right, and what was part 2?
So part 2 is, I've been listening to Ken Wapnick,
Uh-huh.
and Ken Wapnick says that, like, when we leave the body,
Mm-hmm.
we still have the mind that we had when we were still in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's scary, because I'm like, oh man, I have all these struggles, and so then I'm gonna have like the same kind of mindset when I'm not in the
Okay.
body,
Mhm.
and I'm like, so I don't know, that just feels.
Oh, did that make you feel good?
No.
Okay, then that means you have a totally incorrect perception of what was said. If you don't feel more peace behind what you just heard, then you didn't understand it. Because according to the truth, peace and understanding go together, and where one is absent, the other can't be. So there's no such thing as saying, I understand you, bastard! No. If I understand, I understand you, you messenger of love. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you're upset, it just means that there's something about the situation you're not truly clear about. So one of the biggest major steps in spiritual awakening is getting to the point that you don't trust your negative feelings.
That's right.
Where most people do just that. If I'm angry, I'm right. I wouldn't be angry for nothing. Right? So the angrier I get, the more I have a tendency to feel more self-righteous. Just because you're mad still don't mean that I ate the last donut. If I really didn't eat the last donut. So your anger does not make you right. It actually makes you wrong. Because it doesn't matter what's happening. If you handle it from a place of peace, you can handle it better. You injure yourself on the side of the road. Do you want somebody trying to help you just going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, oh my God. Or would you want somebody to walk up there and help you and go, okay, just lay still, don't move. I'm going to call 911. It's going to be okay. I'm not going to leave you alone. See, it's like peace handled the same situation. It didn't mean the ambulance didn't come just because the person was peaceful. See, if you was all upset, you could trip over the person and stomp on top of everything else they're going through. Now they got your foot in them. So there's no point where you being angry and upset gives you more clarity than being peaceful. No matter what, you can tell a person, this is my boundary, don't do this. And you can do it peacefully and mean it just as much as somebody jumping up and down and screaming. Right? Because if you're peaceful, you're clearer. It's hard to fool a peaceful person. Because they're looking at things from a place of clarity. You don't know how many people see through all your games and absolutely don't attack you about it. I'm around people all the time that I can see their games. The games they're trying to play with me, the games they're trying to play with each other. And because I don't act angry, and because I don't act any different on the outside, their ego would tell them they're getting over on me. But it's not that way at all. If I'm aware of you, then I just know how to deal with you and I let you be. I know, okay. See, so if you want people to keep on being open and communicating and revealing themselves, you don't attack them when they're communicating honestly with you about anything. If I did something last night and I don't want to hide that from you, and I said something I need to talk to you about, and try to communicate a message of love and so I can leave the death I think you're going to give me behind. Then if you don't attack me about what I just told you, I'm much more likely to keep telling you what I'm doing. If you attack me because I told you something, I'm going to start to hide from you if you keep on attacking me. So in the end, you don't know the person you're with. And then you become, how come you couldn't be honest with me? How come you couldn't tell me the truth? And you go, can I play that back? So that you can kind of understand why I don't want to tell you anything. But you'll get to the point in your self-love that you won't put up with that very long anyway. They can only do it once or twice, maybe, and you'll be done with them. See, when you love yourself, you do not tolerate attack. You can handle me any kind of way but attacking me. You attack me, game off. And when you love yourself, that's not optional. You will change the form of that. I'll still be your friend. We can still have a cool relationship, but you're not going to be my partner anymore. You're not going to be my lover anymore because you're attacking me. So we'll have to change the form. I love myself too much to be abused. And then the person that's attacking will say, "You're abandoning me." And I say, "That's right. I am abandoning this behavior. I am abandoning this treatment. I'm not abandoning you. I still want peace for you. I still want you to be happy. But I'm abandoning this form of relationship. I don't deserve to not have appreciation." So all that stuff you're straining not to do, when you start to love yourself, it won't be a strain. It won't be a strain for you to start setting boundaries, not being tempted like you used to be. You have more self-control when you feel innocent. See, I know that I'm free to make the choice to express myself however I want to if I'm willing to take responsibility for it. And so the more the Course taught me I was innocent and free, the more I did the things that made me feel guilty, which I thought was kind of odd. I thought the freer I felt, maybe the more I would do a lot of stuff. But actually, the more innocent and free I felt, the more discrimination I started to have, which cut out about 99% of my social life. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
So you are moving towards what? Love. And it's not fear.
Right.
Yay.
And you know the difference in the feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know if you're with somebody right now and you're afraid to communicate with them. You know right now if you got secret thoughts that you check out everything you said before you tell them what's going on. That is not love. That's fear. But the sex so good. I know. But that only lasts so long. And if you want to keep that passion going, you got to keep the message of love going. The loss of passion is the loss of love. And when you really got a cool relationship with someone at a sensual, sexual level, you don't even have to touch them to feel the same level of pleasure and joy. That the time and space starts to not have any effect on the feeling you have with each other. They could be 5,000 miles away and you be walking down the street going, All right, y'all ready for another paragraph?
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. Let's breathe. Let's breathe here a minute. Oh boy. I can tell when I'm changing consciousness because every time I change consciousness, all of my electronic stuff malfunctions. I've known that for many years, and I'm going through a big change of consciousness right now. I warn you, I'm going to give you all a warning. Hold on, let me turn this on so I can give you all a warning about me. Okay, let's see, I didn't tell you. All right, let me give you a warning. The court said that the secret is repetition. The only part of your mind that has reality is the part that links you still with love. It's the part that links you still with love. Would you have all of your mind transformed into a radiant message of God's love? To share with all the lonely ones who have denied God. God makes this possible. God makes the love possible. Would you deny love's yearning to be known? Would you deny love's yearning to be known? You yearn for love. You yearn for love as love yearns for you. This is forever changeless. This is forever changeless. Except then the immutable, what never changes. Except what never changes. Leave the world of death where? Behind. Leave the world of fear where? Behind. And return quietly to heaven. Love. Return quietly to what? Love. Listen to the Holy Spirit. What does it say? Say it all. Listen to the Holy Spirit. Spirit of love. And to God through the Holy Spirit. Listen to the Creator through the love that's in you. Then it says, love speaks of you to you. Love speaks of you who are loved to you. There is no guilt in you. Na, 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 na. God has blessed you as you are blessed in God. Okay? See how many ways I'm trying to give it? Yeah, because it's through repetition that you get it. Not through analyzing it, it's through remembering it. See, that's the trip. All right, let me go on through one more paragraph. Because this paragraph has the key thing in it. So take a breath. Look around you. Look around you. Now, don't ask none of these people for their phone numbers. Y'all want to stay friends. You want to stay cool. Right now, we don't know nothing about each other. Because we know you the sweetest, most innocent thing that don't change our mind. All right? All right? All right. Everyone has a special part to play in the healing, which is the atonement. Every one of you has what? A special part to play. Okay. But the message given to each one is always the same. So each one of us has a special part to play in extending the love. But the Course in Miracles says, but the message is going to be the same. So what is the message? The message is God's Son is guiltless, which is the same as saying love's creation is innocent. So I have one message. You have one message. We're going to do that message in our own ways, through our own personalities. But the message we should be giving to everyone in our life is that you are innocent. You are guiltless. You know, and the Course in Miracles says to us that that's your special part. See, there's enough projection, blame, anger, guilt, criticism, judgment, and condemnation in the world. What there's not enough of is a reminder of our innate beauty and love and innocence. And so the Course in Miracles says each one teaches the message, what message? That you're innocent. How? Differently. And each one of us does what? We learn it differently. So you're going to learn that you're loved differently. All of us are going to learn that we're loved in different ways. All of us are going to learn that we're innocent in different ways. But I know the message that I'm supposed to be giving you in my own special way, which is that you're innocent. You may not believe it, but that doesn't change the fact that it's true. And so the Course says that until you teach it and learn it, you will suffer pain. So people are going through pain because they're saying everything to each other than you're sinless, you're guiltless, you're innocent, you deserve love. That's not the message the average person is consistently giving to other people, and you know it's not. And then we're saying, well, where's all the pain in the world coming from? He says, because you're not giving each other that message. You're not giving each other the message of love. And then it says, you will suffer the pain of dim awareness. That's a very powerful statement. In other words, when the Course says, well, the reason why you're in pain, Purdy, you experience it physically, but what you are experiencing is the physical effect of having a dim awareness. If you are unconscious, ignorant, and not aware of truth and love, it always causes some form of pain. So physical pain is ultimately coming from a dim awareness. Emotional pain is coming from an awareness that's not where it needs to be yet. And it says, what is the dim awareness? Your dim awareness is that your true function remains unfulfilled in you. So what does that mean? A person in pain is a person not fulfilling their function. A person that's lonely is a person that's not fulfilling their function. A person that sees themselves as broke is a person that's not fulfilling their function. Wherever you're seeing lack, you know you must not be fulfilling your function. And we were told in the first paragraph what the function is to spread the message of love that you are innocent. Now, you don't have to say it to a person out loud. You'll find as you mature spiritually that you'll get a lot more done with crazy people if you don't say nothing to them. It's one of the secrets of salvation, is that if you're dealing with somebody that's angry, bitter, suspicious, and distrustful, you don't want to talk to them. You want to think the truth in their presence. I'm telling you now, I'm telling you the easy way. If I think I'm guilty, which means I'm an angry person, and you tell me I'm innocent, I'm going to rebel against that idea. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why that's not true. I'm going to actually focus on my guilt more in order to be right. You tell me I'm innocent. No, I'm not. See, now I'm more focused on my guilt than I was before you said anything to me. Because now I'm defending my anger and my guilt. You can't trust me. You don't know what I've done. See, but I could be in your presence, seeing you as love and seeing you as innocent, and know there's a part of you that is loving behind your fearful part, without saying anything. And my mind can join with your mind because it is one mind, and it could be part of your healing. Why do you think God is quiet? Have you ever asked yourself, if there's a God, how come the God don't say nothing? Well, when you're ready to listen, that's part of the process. Because a conscious being don't talk to you until they know you're listening. So as long as you just want to listen to yourself and never want to listen to nothing but yourself, of course the universe ain't going to tell you nothing. Because it's smart. It'll wait till you suffer to the point you go, there must be a better way, and then you start to hear the voice. Because everyone has a limit on how much pain they can take, even though some people's tolerance is amazing. Some people have so much tolerance for crap, it just blows my mind. I mean, you went through this and this, and you still sticking to the way you do? You still want to pick up a book? You still, my God. But there is a limit. There is a limit. And so the Course in Miracles says, so what is it that everyone's suffering from according to the Course, even if they don't know it? The pain of the dim awareness that their function is not being fulfilled. It's not your mama, not your dad, and not your boss, not the economy that's making anybody suffer. It's a bunch of people on earth who don't know why they are here. They don't know why they're here. So they're busy trying to get material things in and of itself to satisfy that unfulfilled hunger that can only be met with love. That can only be filled or healed with love. But the Course says, but we don't believe that because we think love is weak. Because every time we try to love, then we've hurt ourselves or been hurt a lot. So we actually associate love with weakness and anger with strength. So when you say that you go out in the world with love, my ego says, you're talking about go out here and be taken advantage of or misused. So we go out not only not doing our function of sharing love, we feel like our very safety is in not sharing love. And then we wonder why we suffer. There is no mystery about why we're suffering. We're not fulfilling our function to be good lovers. Aren't you tired of being a lousy lover? Aren't you tired of being a lousy lover? That's right, me too. Me too. So the last two sentences, it says, the burden of guilt is what? Heavy. But your Creator love would not be bound by the burden of guilt. Love's plan, God's plan for your awakening is as perfect as yours is fallible. Love's plan is perfect. Your plan, my plan, he says, will always fail. We will never succeed in making misery happiness, fear love, and guilt innocence. You're not going to guilt your way into innocence, and you're not going to sad your way into happiness. Like, it's almost like people could say, well, if I'm just sad enough, I'm going to turn happy. And so the Course in Miracles says, brand this, y'all. It says, you know not what you do. And what is he saying? You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You do not know what you're doing. You don't know. You got a problem in your relationship? You do not know what you're doing in your relationship. You got a problem in your job? You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. And it says, I love this book, but Spirit who knows is with you. You might not know what you're doing, but there's a part of you called the higher power called God that's with you that does know what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I'm teaching my son to drive. He didn't know what he was doing, but I was sitting in the car next to him and I knew what to do. So you have that same relationship to your Creator. Your Creator is with you while you drive in the car of your life into the wall. And so it's,
Hopefully not.
I know I talk in extremes. That's just to get your attention, you know. But no, the Holy Spirit, the love beside you is going to turn the wheel right before you hit the wall. You understand what I'm saying? That's what the Court said. Stop thinking you're alone. You are not alone in this. You are not alone in this. You don't know what you're doing. Somebody's with you that does know. You don't know what you're doing. There's somebody with you that does know. Right? The Course in Miracles says the separation is just a failure in communication. You know, me thinking I'm separate from my source is me losing the ability to communicate with my source. Right? If I'm talking to you on the phone and the phone goes dead, then the problem is that we're not able to communicate with each other now. But we still both exist. So you and your Creator both exist. You learn, the Course says, the way that we've been taught to think creates the failure in communication. Because we've been taught to think of ourselves as guilty, sinful, separate, and not enough, broken into by periods in which we feel pretty good about ourselves. And the Course says that is not true communication. Doesn't make you feel guilty. True communication inspires you. So that's how you can tell. And so the Course says to us, you know not what you do, but he who knows is with you. Love's gentleness is your gentleness. And all the love you share with your Creator is going to share and hold that love in trust for you. It's sort of like a 401k. You know what I'm saying? It's like you invest in that love in me, and I'm going to hold that love that you've given me in trust. And this love that I have for you that you've been giving me, it's increasing in interest, and it's going to be there for you when you need it. You giving me love, I'm going to store it, and I'm going to give it back to you when you need it. It says God holds it in trust for you because your Creator, I love this last sentence, your Creator would teach you nothing except how to be happy. See, yeah, isn't that cool? Say your Creator is not going to teach you anything. I'm just going to teach you one thing, boy. What you going to teach me? I'm going to teach you how to be happy. I'm going to teach you how to be happy. That sounds like Chris Rock. I'm going to teach you how to be happy. Yeah, I'm going to teach you how. And that's what you would be saying to your children, to your partners, to your lovers. You'd be saying, I just got one thing I'm going to teach you tonight, baby. It's how to be happy. I'm here to be a teacher of happiness, a demonstrator, because I'm going to let my mind be transformed into a radiant message of God's love to you. And the message I'm going to give you is that you're innocent. And I'm yearning to love you, and you're yearning to love me. And I'm going to give you love. That's what I'm here to. I'm here to show you you're a lie when you think you can't be loved. I'm here to be your witness that you're wrong about yourself and you think you're not valuable. So, thank you for listening to this monthly Holy Spirit. Those of you online, I'm going to give a couple of minute recap, and then we're going to rush out here and make some guilt. Okay. All right. We're going to see, we're going to test this. So, what we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to do the financial expression of appreciation. Thank you. I'm a full-time teacher. This is what I do in this world. It is my function. So thank you, those of you who feel led to share with me. Thank you. My mighty companions online, I want you to know I always go back and I read all of your comments. So I just want you to know I appreciate you all coming live and joining with each other. If you like to make a financial expression of appreciation, then go to my website, earlpurdy.com. Not earlpurdy.com. earlpurdy.com. And I'm available for one-on-one sessions called clarity sessions. If you have some issues you'd like to get past once and for all and apply the truth to it. And I've also been an astrologer and a numerologist for 40 years, and if people are open to it, I also use that skill also in our session. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and it explains what I do in detail and all the details about how to do it. You can self-book right there online, which is really convenient. All right, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I do a Facebook Live class called The Way of Mastery. Even if you're not on Facebook, you can watch it by going to www.facebook.com/Earl Purdy Live. So join us. Let's get this energy out there. On Thursday nights, I do a class, especially for Course in Miracles students who are really into the course, called Hardcore Course in Miracles. And last Thursday we did Forgiveness is the End of Specialness, which was intense. Yeah, that was intense. So if you're hardcore and you want it hardcore, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And then Sundays, thank you for coming out, because I only do these here for people who want to come live and have an experience of each other. So thank you for coming, because without you, it would be the point of me being here, right? So I'm glad that you see it as valuable enough to come check out. And the Course in Miracles says that everybody that comes, they're chosen, they're sent. Okay? You are the chosen one. Okay, so I'm going to end this a little bit different today. I want to ask you to just close your eyes and just breathe for a minute and allow yourself to receive. Okay, it's going to take about a couple of minutes. Take a deep breath. You have a special part to play. But you're going to give everybody the same message, whether you do it out loud or whether you just do it in your mind. If you know they're going to think you absolutely crazy, you know you do it in your mind. But the message you're going to think, or the message you're going to say, is this: you are innocent. You may make mistakes. Mistakes are for correction. But who you really are in your truest love nature, your true nature, you're sinless, innocent. Each one of us are going to give that message differently, and we are going to receive that message differently. But until you give that message, that the child of God is innocent, he says you're going to suffer. Not because God is punishing you, not because the universe is punishing you, but you always hurt when you're unaware. It's only when you deceive yourself or fool yourself in some way that you hurt yourself. So you're suffering from the dim awareness that your function is remaining unfulfilled. If you're going through any form of pain right now in any way, it means you're not fulfilling your function. The burden of feeling guilty is really heavy. It's heavy feeling guilty. But God would not have you bound by guilt. Love would not have me 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 bound. Now, your plan for waking up is as fallible as God's plan is perfect. You don't know what you are doing. You do not know what you are doing. But love is with you. God is with you. Your gentleness is love's gentleness. And all the love you share, God is going to hold in trust for you. And love would teach you, your Creator would teach you, Spirit would teach you nothing except how to be happy. Thank you, mighty companions, for coming today. Awesome. Give it up for you all. Give you some juice. Come on now. Come on. Yeah. Those of you online, I love you so much. Hugs are available. I love hugs, so anybody feel like a good old juicy hug, don't forget to come up here.